Howdy YouTube, my name's Ethanra, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross. So we got a few interesting things going on. First and foremost, well, I was gonna say it, but it actually came up pretty fast, so I'll just show it. Yeah, these going on. I'm really excited for this. That's actually what I plan to do. Yep. And this is what we just looked at. So yeah, this one's gonna be kind of like a mini series, so look forward to doing that. Oh, there we go. Of course, I'm gonna do that too. And that's just the jewel challenge. And this is also something I'm excited about. Been wanting some new avatar boards. Well, you'll see what I picked when we get into the game. I obviously already have one. And something really cool I didn't know about, because I like to be surprised, and something I thought was pretty funny, is when it was announced on Twitter that we were getting these avatar boards, as soon as I saw the one I wanted, I actually said, I want etc. I don't care what they come with. And turns out they come with something I've been waiting for a very long time. If you look right there, defense boost for max. Now earlier, way earlier, I said, I'm gonna go ahead and do this while I'm talking. I said that I was wanting something like a defense boost 5 max, but obviously we have to get 4 first, but my point remains the same. So I thought it was kind of interesting how we got that so fast. Not that I'm complaining, just interesting. Yep, and then the Coliseum is really interesting. Cool even how they tied in Twilight Town with all the events that are going on. So with that out of the way, I also want you to see my new avatar appearance. I've been trying to do something a bit more original than just throw on Neku's outfit and Sora's gloves. So with the new one that I bought, I think I made it work. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Really digging the camo pants and the shoes. Hayner, out of all of them, I definitely liked the way he dressed the most. Maybe even more than Roxas, because his outfit seemed more realistic. Like, in a realistic kind of way, Roxas' stuff have to be, like, custom ordered. So I kind of like the realism behind Hayner's. And I guess Pence is also kind of realistic, too. And Olet's is just basic. Not that that's bad, that's just what it is. But I digress. I like Haynes the most. That's why I bought his. And that's what I'm rocking right now. Moving on. So, another thing I did, which I'll show you all in just a second. Equip Starlight. Okay, fair enough. I'm not a big fan of when they make you equip Keyblades, especially when the level here is so easy. It shouldn't even be a challenge. But I digress. If that's how they want to play, I'll just go ahead and show you this then and explain it later. So, Vex in here, being my go-to defense medal, I put on Defense Moves 4 Max on him. That helps out a lot because he lowers attack, raises most of your defenses, except for 1 or 2. And then, of course, this Kyrie lowers their attack also, so that helps. I believe he lowers everything, or sorry, raises everything but power. Yeah. So he doesn't raise your power attribute defense, but that's kind of counteracted by Kyrie, and again, defense boost 4. And then of course I finally got Axel here all maxed out, and I gave him another of the attack boost 7s that I had. But yeah, so they want Starlight, so let's give them Starlight. It almost doesn't even matter. I was actually going to pick a metal that I haven't. Okay, well, that was a pretty dramatic start, and then kind of a silly introduction. So, funny thing with that cutscene, I'm trying not to talk during the cutscenes, but at the same time, I kind of want to because I have some commentary for some of the things they say. Like, unless I misread it, did they say hermit pretender? I can't even wrap my head around what that is supposed to even be, and yet apparently, Mog knows what it is. And then when he goes and quotes Roxas, I can't help but think of something like a Roxas Moogle, since he added Kupu, or sorry, not Kupu, Kupo at the end of it. I don't know why I said Kupu there. I don't know what I was thinking of. Actually, yes, I do. There's this, well, never mind. I'm not even about to get into it because I wouldn't be able to show it if I did. Never mind. But it made me think of the best way I can explain it without getting too much into it is a tiny little alien that was from Final Fantasy VIII. Its name isn't Kupu, but it's kind of close to that for those of you who already know. But yeah, I'm really digging those pants and the shoes. They look cool in motion. The vest is neat, the shirt is good. And of course I had to wear my trademark scarf. Or at least it would be trademark, but the reason why you don't see me wear it that often is because I wore Neku's outfit, and he already had that huge collar, and it just looked kind of silly if I had both of them on. But Eternia knows I like this scarf. And now, so do you. I said it really doesn't matter, so I'm so glad that's another feature. That's one of the things I forgot to mention is the optimize option. That wasn't always a thing, so really nice that they added that. Okay, just making sure I read the rules right. And after this, no, nah, I better keep that its own video. I was gonna do a Unions Cross just to see what that'd be like, but nah, since this is a pretty special event, I think I'll leave these into their own video. I would like to talk about my new Keyblade kit, but they're not gonna let me use it, or at least, to be more specific, they would let me use it, but I'd rather not run this more than I have to, which is once, so I guess I'll just save that conversation for the Unions Cross video. Speaking of Unions Cross, funny little story. Speaking of stories, I actually do have one I should share. But the first one is I actually got to talking with no, hold on here. I thought something was wrong with my screen. Anyway, I actually I actually got to talk with Kaori about how she saw the video about how like she wasn't replying or talking rather. And it's funny because according to her, she said she was, but it wasn't showing up on my screen, which again is weird. But later on, we ran Union's Cross together, and it worked just fine, which is good because it turns out a flare gun is going to be kind of hard to get a hold of. But Kaori, if you're watching, next time I got an even better idea. Just shoot one of those Keyblade beams into the sky to let me know where you are, and I'll be there in a heartbeat. Nah, Keyblades, Kingdom Hearts, heartbeat. Almost made myself laugh. Well, I would have if it was actually funny. Oh yes, and now the other story I'll try to tell before I wrap this up is I wanted to make a video of this like 3 or 4 days ago, but the first time I did it, I messed the video up. The second time I did it, I just wasn't motivated enough to do it. And then the third time, the video still got messed up even though it shouldn't have, so I just gave up on it. But there was someone I met in Union's Cross. Her name was Faith, and the reason why her name caught my attention is because it's Faith. It's not that hard of a name to remember. And second is she was the only one fighting the Trick Master in the Dark Corridor back when he was the super boss. Now it's probably not going to be him. I think they do change them up weekly. Or not weekly, but you know, whenever they refresh Union's Cross. But yeah, so she was the only one in there. Her name stood out, so it was easy to remember her. And funny thing is, I would have tried to invite her to the party since I saw her challenging that thing on her own. It's like, okay, so that means she does the same thing I do. She actually tries to go for the super boss first. But she was in her own party, so I didn't bother with it. But I still remembered her name. Now, the interesting thing about that is later that day, I got a new subscriber. And I know usually I don't, I said I would stop doing that. And I'm so glad my phone was on vibrate this time. Because, oh man, so many times in the past it would go off randomly. Especially when I'm expecting a text. But thankfully it was on vibrate this time. But anyway, I got a new subscriber. And I usually don't talk about that. It's because it makes me feel bad when they do subscribe. And I forget to tell them, hey, thanks for doing that. So I try not to do that anymore. But the reason why this one is different is because it wasn't just a random subscriber. Because another thing is, it doesn't always notify me when it happens. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Magically, this time it did. But in addition to that, this subscriber actually talked. They like, hey, new subscriber, how did you get your Lux so fast? And I told them, EM, how I got my Lux so fast in the video. And they thanked me for it. And the reason why I said and they and not who they were is because the kicker to that is it was Faith. Or someone who just so happened to go by the exact same name, but I'm pretty certain it's the same person. So that's what I thought was pretty interesting about it. That almost never happens. It's probably happened, I don't know, maybe like 2 or 3 times the entire time I've been playing Union's Cross, where when I'm playing there, someone sees me, checks out my profile, and then checks out my YouTube channel. That doesn't happen often, so it's always pretty neat when it does. Alright, cutscene time. Okay, I was going to try to keep my peace, but they're starting to say things that I actually find deserve commentary. First off, yes, they're right. It's not summer heat, it's desert heat. And secondly, don't you think you will be getting a headache when you're wearing that huge thing on your head in this, like, what, 109-degree weather? And that's on a cold day? Yeah, You could always just take that hat off. And that's how it ends. Interesting. Okay, well, that's the end of that. So just so I can go ahead and get this set up for Union's Cross so I don't have to do it later. There we go. I guess I should also take care of this too while I'm at it. Actually, no, that's fine. That's exactly what I want. Go ahead and take some of that. But yeah, that'll be it. Oh, nope, it still has it saved for there. That's another thing I do. I do that to check. For if I don't need or want to go to the home menu, and I just want to make sure the Keyblade is accurately on, just do that. But yeah, that'll do it for now. Hope you all enjoyed. I can't wait to see what the rest of the quest is and where this dramatic turn is going to happen in, what, 12 days, if I got my math right. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video and my new avatar. He looks quite dashing, I believe. And I will see you all around.